Hello friends, good evening to all. Can somebody please confirm whether my voice is audible or not?
Yes, sir, it's audible.
Okay, let's just wait for 1 minute friends. Let others also join. We'll start in sharp 1 minute. I hope friends everybody must have gone through the videos that I had shared today morning. Two videos I had shared in the WhatsApp group. I hope everybody must have gone through it. Have you all gone through that video friend? Any doubt
Yes, sir.
related to that?
Mhm.
See,
No.
whatever is shown in that video, those are not my cooked up stories. The reference for that you will find in the lecture number 4 of 10th lectures in homeopathic philosophy, which we are supposed to read right from the second year. So after watching these videos, if you read the if you read the fourth lecture on 10th philosophy, and also some correlation is there with some aphorisms as well. So that is the whole essence of basically what forms the base of our system, the basic thing. Now, let's continue, friends. And today's session is very important, friends. And as I said yesterday also, that we are not here to criticize anyone personally. We are not here to mount our theories upon you because we don't have any new theories. Whatever we are sharing here, the contents, the materials, for all those contents and materials, we have reference from the Organon and philosophy. So we don't have any new theories. Now, based on what is given in the Organon and philosophy, we are just trying to compare the kind of practice that we are doing today. Why we are doing this kind of practice, it is upon us to decide and judge whether we should continue to do it or not. It is upon us to decide and judge. But see, friends, as Hanuman has told, dare to be wise. You have to show that courage to, if at all you are wrong, because at the end of the day, you are playing with the health and life of your patient. So if by knowingly or unknowingly you are following a wrong methodology, it becomes your moral responsibility to do that self-correction so that you can get benefited, your patients can get benefited, and also the entire system can also get benefited. So, first of all, again, I am appealing, friends, don't take it as a criticism. This is a healthy argument that we are doing, and no need to blindly believe whatever I am saying here. If you want to argue, if you are not convinced, you can argue, but in a polite way. There is absolutely no issue. We welcome such arguments.
Okay.
Now, let me tell you something, friends, and I want everybody to listen to this very carefully. When we take admission to the first year BHMS, I don't think so any of us would have really thought about coming into this profession. Probably we may have that intention to become a doctor, but we could not attain so many marks to get admission to BBS, BAMS, BDS, and then finally most of us end up in learning BHMS. So basically, when majority of us enter into a college, we take admission to first year BHMS, our mindset is like this. As far as knowledge of homeopathy is concerned, completely empty. Most of us, I'm not saying all, but most of us are in this kind of a situation when they take admission to first year BHMS. Knowledge about homeopathy is absolutely zero. When I took admission, I was not even knowing that homeopathy is a kind of system where You can practice after getting passed out. Or I was not even totally aware of the correct spelling of homeopathy. So that is the situation of most of us when we take admission to first year BHMS. But by the time we are supposed to get passed out from the college after completing our internship, ideally, this should be the situation. Now, as you can see that this class, water is compared to the knowledge related to homeopathy, and that purity of water, that clearness of what clarity of that water indicates the pure knowledge. So ideally, I'm talking about ideal situation. Ideally, by the time we get passed out from the college, our mind should be like this. Not fully filled, because from no college complete knowledge we get. The learning process goes on for lifelong. Homeopathy is such a big ocean. So you cannot claim that you have learned everything. That learning process go on for lifelong. But ideally, by the time you get passed out, you should have some quality knowledge related to homeopathy. This is something ideally should happen. Is there anyone who can confirm that this actually happens when that by the time you get passed out? Do you have that concrete knowledge and confidence, at least 70-80% knowledge and confidence by the time you get passed out from college? Do we get that?
No, sir.
You don't get. Because I'm not, see, again, I'm saying, friends, I'm not criticizing any college or any institution personally, but that is a fact. We have to admit this fact. We don't get. And what is the situation right now? What is the situation by the time we get passed out from our colleges? This is our situation. I'll show you. Okay. This is our situation. What it indicates? Any idea? Anybody want to comment?
Impurities.
Mixture knowledge, no clarity, complete confusion. And on top of it, once we get passed out, these people who are serving the baseless shortcuts and tips, they add on to it. And we pass out with a kind of a mentality that we know everything. अरे अभी तो हमें सब आ गया. And we go into that mindset where we don't show any interest to learn further. But keep in mind, friends, you are supposed to give water to the patients from this glass. Will it be safe for them? If you are supposed to give water to your patients to drink from this glass, is that going to help them?
No.
It will not help. So if at all we want to correct ourselves, we want to fill this glass with pure drinking water, what is the first thing that we have to do? इस ग्लास में अगर प्योर ड्रिंकिंग वाटर भरना है तो भरने से पहले सबसे पहले क्या करना पड़ेगा? What we have to do then? इन दिस वाटर आप कितना भी प्योर पानी फेंक डालो वो खराब ही होने वाला है, डर्टी ही होने वाला है. तो
इसको फेंक कर नया पानी भरना पड़ेगा.
इसको सबसे पहले फेंकना पड़ेगा. Whatever wrong perceptions are there in our mind, whatever wrong understanding are there in our mind, whatever wrong methodologies are being mounted upon us by others, we should get rid of it first. Correct?
Yes, sir.
So, in today's session and tomorrow's session, we are going to take up some methodologies for detailed discussion based on those basics which we have learned, and we will together decide whether it is right or wrong. पीके मूवी तो सबने देखा ही होगा. रॉन्ग नंबर है, याद है आपको? रॉन्ग नंबर है. तो कौन आपको रॉन्ग नंबर दे रहा है, कौन सा रॉन्ग नंबर है, कौन सा राइट नंबर है, ये पहचानना आपकी जिम्मेदारी है. इट इज योर रेस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी टू रिकॉग्नाइज व्हाट इज रॉन्ग नंबर एंड व्हाट इज राइट नंबर. सो दैट वी विल डिसाइड टुडे एंड टुमारो. But I'm not going to mount again anything, friends. We will together decide. But I need an assurance from your end. Let me know how many are willing to give me that assurance. I need an assurance that if at all we together decide here that such a particular methodology is wrong, then I need an assurance from your end that you will not go back to that methodology again in your practice. If you are admitting that here it is wrong, how many are willing to give me that assurance?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Sure, पलटना नहीं है बाद
Yes, sir.
में. ठीक
Yes,
है,
sir, sure.
चलो ठीक है,
Yes,
तो
sir.
let's start then. The first methodology, the most common methodology that many of us, almost 95% of doctors, very conveniently adopt is what? Which is the most common method?
Mixopath.
Mixopathy, polypharmacy, prescribing
Yes.
multiple remedies at a time. Now, there are two ways to think then. First of all, we need to think from logical point of view. क्या ऐसा हो सकता है? Because we all have, God has given all of us brains to think. So let's use our brain to analyze it first. Second, we will correlate with what is given in the Organon and philosophy, and then we will decide. Okay? I'm not saying that we are blindly following what is given in Organon and philosophy, because again, then some people may come and say that अरे वो तो बहुत पुराना है, it was written years ago. We are modern homeopaths. ऐसे बहाने बहुत मिलते हैं. So we will use our logical mind and then compare it with what is given in the Organon and philosophy. Now, coming to the polypharmacy, right from the first year, we read that homeopathy is based on individualization and single remedy concept. Right from first year, we learn it. But still, look at it. 95-96% of doctors give multiple remedies. When first year we learned that we should not give multiple remedies, still we give it. So there may be a number of reasons that these people may give to justify their action for giving. Even I have seen doctors prescribing 6-7 remedies at a time. 3 in the morning, 3 in the evening, and 1 in higher dose once in a week. I've seen that also. That is how we practice, playing as we wish with our remedies. But there are lot of explanation given in our book with respect to why we should not use multiple remedies, but we will leave aside all those things, but we will use some common sense. Now, let's first of all just quickly think how our medicines act. We don't know the exact mechanism or modus operandi how our medicine acts, but still we believe that the indicator remedy will go into the patient and produce those symptoms which already exist in the patient, but in a little higher intensity, thereby removing the original symptoms. That is similia similibus curantur. This is what we believe in, right? Are we all together? Are we all together with this understanding?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now tell me, think and tell me, according to Organon, our remedy will act where? According to Hahnemann, where does our remedy act?
Vital foods.
Only on vital force. According to Organon, our remedy can act only upon the vital force. Okay. Now, a patient, let's imagine that a patient along with his other complaints is also having sore irritation. Let's say, for example, when we are prescribing Nux-Vomica and Carbovix simultaneously. Now, both this Nux-Vomica and Carbovix has the potential to produce sore irritation. From repertory and mathematics, we know that. Now, when we are prescribing Nux-Vomica and Carbovix both at the same time to the patient, can anybody think and tell me which remedy out of these two will act upon the vitality and produce an original symptom, produce a artificial symptom which is stronger than original? Because which remedy will act? Nux-Vomica will act or Carbovix will act? Which one will act and who will decide that? बताइए.
Patient susceptibility.
Susceptibility has nothing to do with this. It comes at a later stage. We'll discuss about it. But if a remedy has to be if a remedy has to act on vitality, two options are given: Carbovec or Nux-Vomica. Now, who will decide which remedy to act? Which remedy will act? Is it that Carbovec will say to Nux-Vomica कि Nux-Vomica तुम रहने दो, पिछली बार तुमने एक्ट किया था वाइटल फोर्स पे, इस बार मैं एक्ट करूंगा? ऐसा होता है? Can it happen?
No.
No, sir.
और ऐसा है कि वाइटल फोर्स चूज करेगा. अच्छा, मेरे पास दो ऑप्शन है. हैव बीन गिवन बाय द फिजिशियन टू ऑप्शन. वाइटल फोर्स विल थिंक which should I select? Should I go for Carbovec? Should I go for Nux-Vomica? And accordingly, vital force will select. Is that going to happen?
No.
होगा प्रैक्टिकली? नहीं होगा. अगर होता तो दो क्यों यार? 3000 चॉइसेस दे दो और ना वाइटल फोर्स को, उसमें से सेलेक्ट कर लेगा. हमें कौन सी बड़ी दिक्कत है केस टेकिंग की? सब रेमेडी मिक्स करके एक मास्टर रेमेडी बना देते हैं, सारी कंडीशन में वही देते रहेंगे. ना केस टेकिंग की जरूरत, ना ऑर्गेनॉन की जरूरत, ना रेस्पिरेटरी की जरूरत. कितना आसान हो जाता है. बट इज इट प्रैक्टिकली पॉसिबल?
No, sir.
नो. So we need to think that what we are doing, what is our action, and when we are doing that guesswork, चलो हमें क्या फर्क पड़ता है? How it is going to matter? Let any remedy act. We need at the end of the day we need result. That's it. But if you are not getting results, then don't you think that you are playing with the health of your patient? Do you realize that responsibility? अरे क्या हुआ, रिजल्ट नहीं दे पाया, पेशेंट चला गया और कहीं मेरा क्या है, मैंने ट्राई किया। बट आपने ट्राई कैसे किया? हैव यू यूज्ड ethical way to prescribe a medicine for the patient, or it was unethical? और थोड़ा बहुत रिलीफ मिल जाता है, पेशेंट विल स्टिक टू यू। स्टिल इज इट एन एथिकल प्रैक्टिस? डू यू नो व्हाट इज कंसाइंस? कंसाइंस क्या होता है? व्हाट इज कंसाइंस?
नहीं पता सर।
हमारी अंतरात्मा जिसको कहते हैं, जहां से हमें पुकार आता है कि क्या सही है क्या गलत है, क्या मैं सही कर रहा हूँ क्या मैं गलत कर रहा हूँ, am I doing right, am I doing wrong? The inner call that you get. I don't really even understand when people such the doctors take such a big risk with the health and life of their patient. How can they even go and get a good sleep when they know that, oh, I have not done justice to my patient, I have not done justice to what I have studied, just for your survival, and just because the patient is not aware what homeopathy is, you're cheating them actually. Do you realize that, friends? I'm especially addressing to these students. Do you want to get into this kind of practice where you intentionally end up cheating your patients? It's not going to give you good karma at all. So, as far as polypharmacy or prescribing multiple remedies is concerned, can we all say that it is a wrong number? Or anybody wants to argue with any point? Is it a wrong number? Or you want to argue?
Yes, sir. Wrong number.
Yes, sir. Wrong number.
पक्का? तो कल से
Yes.
no
Paka.
no
Single
no
remedy should be given.
yes. From tomorrow, no need to think about multiple remedies. You have given me assurance, right? So next we will go to the methodology, which is very popular in the social media platforms, where we tend to ask. If you are inexperienced, then you tend to ask in social media, "Arey, I have a case of epilepsy. What remedy should I give?" Or people, you come across people asking, "Which are the remedies that you are using in case of migraine?" Or you see people making comments and posting that these are the 5 best remedies for migraine, these are the 5 best remedies for asthma, these are the 5 best remedies for such and such condition. और मैंने यूट्यूब में ऐसे भी पोस्ट देखे हैं, ये रामबाण, क्या रिनल पत्रिका, किडनी में स्टोन है उसका रामबाण होम्योपैथिक रेमेडी हम करते हैं, वी डू दैट, बट वी नो दैट in our literature this kind of practice is called as nonsense by Kant. Nonsense मतलब क्या, बकवास है ये। मैं दिखाता हूँ आपको, I'll quote from the literature and then we will use some logic. Every few days I run across a homeopathic physician who asks, what remedy are you using in such and such case? इस केस में आप कौन सी रेमेडी यूज कर रहे हो? ये आज भी यही पूछते हैं, फेसबुक पे जाइए आज भी ऐसे डॉक्टर्स मिलेंगे आपको ये पूछते हैं। Such a thing has no place in my mind. ऐसी चीजों के लिए मेरे मन में कोई जगह नहीं है। And I look upon those who speaks in that way as a man untrained in homeopathic. जो ऐसी बात करता है वो होम्योपैथी में अनट्रेंड है, जिनको ट्रेनिंग नहीं मिली है, जो नहीं जानता होम्योपैथी कैसे करते हैं। आई ट्रूली हैव लॉस्ट माई पेशेंस ओवर दैट फॉर ओल्ड ग्रे हेड, मतलब जो एक्सपीरियंस लोग हैं जिनके बाल सफेद हो गए एक्सपीरियंस के चलते, वो लोग आके कहते हैं कि अरे दिस इज द बेस्ट रेमेडी फॉर एपिलेप्सी। व्हाट ए नॉनसेंस, क्या बकवास है ये। अब इसका, दिस इज समथिंग दैट इज गिवन इन द लिटरेचर, और आज वही बकवास हम फॉलो कर भी रहे हैं बहुत सारे लोग। बट थोड़ा सा लॉजिकली सोचिए, somebody says that XYZ, let's say somebody is saying that say pulsatilla is the best remedy for migraine. Can pulsatilla be given 100% in all 100 cases of migraine? Does pulsatilla act unconditionally in all 100 cases and cure the patient? Does it happen? If we say that arsenic is the best remedy for asthma, can arsenic be given in each and every case? Will it cure each and every case? Tell me, will it?
No, sir.
Then what is the point in making this listing best remedies for this and best remedies for that? Does it make sense? It doesn't make any sense at all, because these are disease ultimate, whether it be asthma, whether it be migraine, whether it be hepatitis, whether it be simple cold coryza. One member had asked in the Google form that is cold coryza also a disease? Yes, cold coryza, sneezing, nose obstruction, headache, these are all disease ultimate. And we don't prescribe for ultimate. We prescribe for the beginning. We prescribe to get extraordinary results. You have to approve the disease. When you prescribe, learn to see. This is. I'm not pointing out, friends, but even if you know, go to a first year student and ask them, give me first 5 best remedies for menstrual complaints. Even the first year student will start listing it. Sepia, Valsatilla, then what not? Netramur. That is how the corrupted the education system is at ground level. That has to change. Because you people are, when you join the course, you people are not aware what homeopathy is. So whatever you learn from college, you take it for granted, irrespective of what is given in the book. Because in no college, I'm not saying this, again, this is taken from Kant philosophy, that in most of the colleges, philosophy is not taught properly, organon is not taught properly. This was written in the book when it was published, in the organon and philosophy. So today, look at the situation. Has it changed? How many of you can say that yes, I have got a thorough knowledge of organon and thorough knowledge of philosophy from my college? Nobody can say. I'll challenge it. That is the situation. So you are not at blame. आपको गलत राह दिखाया गया है तो आप ऑब्वियसली चलोगे. अभी ए बी जब नर्सरी किंडरगार्टन में कोई बच्चा जाता है उसको उल्टा ए लिखा के सिखाओ कि ये ए ऐसे लिखते हैं वो जिंदगी भर ये वैसे ही लिखेगा. उसको पढ़ाया गया है बेस लेवल पे. That is where our system lacks the kind of knowledge, the kind of exposure that the students should get in the college. They don't get at all. Just imagine a situation, friends. In college level, you are getting ample cases to see, and every case is being worked out in the way mentioned in the organon, properly taking case, properly working out, properly evaluating, properly reportizing, and you see the results. And by the time you pass out, you will have the confidence to practice single medicine home classical approach because you have seen that in the 5 years. But when how can we expect a student to follow the organon and follow the philosophy when they don't get that exposure from their college? Really pathetic situation. So is this a wrong number? Saying that these are the best remedy for these are the best remedy for that. Can that be called as a wrong number or anybody want to argue on that?
Wrong number.
पक्की बात है ना अभी. See, if your things are getting cleared, clarity is coming into your mind, आपके जवाब में वो जोश दिखना चाहिए सबके. क्योंकि अगर गलत मैं दिखा रहा हूँ तो सही भी मैं ही दिखाऊंगा आपको, वो भी बुक से ही दिखाऊंगा. आई शो यू द राइट थिंग ऑल्सो, राइट पाथ ऑल्सो. तो रॉन्ग नंबर है ये.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. It's a wrong number.
चलो, let's move on to the next one. The next methodology, again you will find plenty of people in social media platform. They present cases जिसका ना सिर होता है, जिसका ना पैर होता है. If you compare it what is given in organon, how many, in which aphorism our master has given us some instructions regarding case taking? Case taking के instructions कौन से aphorism में दिए हुए हैं? Anyone from second year, third year? उन्होंने तो recently पढ़ा होगा. In which aphorism पे instructions related to case taking is given? 83 to 104. Aphorism number 83 to 104. And if you follow the method that is mentioned by our master in organon, each and every chronic case will go up to 30-40 minutes case taking minimum. But you see how the people present cases in social media platform. The other day, I was talking to one lady who had called me to join this platform. Then I said that, ma'am, we are not following any shortcuts or we don't serve any shortcuts or tips here. If you are willing to work hard, then only join. Because practicing homeopathy is not so easy. There are schools who teach that, अरे आओ हमारे पास, हम लोग 2 मिनट में रेमेडी सिलेक्शन बता देंगे आपको. आप कहाँ क्लिनिक में आधा आधा घंटा देते रहोगे पेशेंट को. मतलब ये वही बात हो गई. अगर वापस से हम लोग पीके में जाएंगे तो जो ब्रह्म जो 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 ये जो मास्टरपीस जो हमारे मास्टर ने बनाया है ऑर्गेनोन और फिलोसफी, उसी में से थोड़े कागज इधर से फाड़ के उधर से फाड़ के केले चपाटे बाहर 10 रुपए में बेच रहे हैं. पूरा पढ़ने की जरूरत नहीं, ये पढ़ लो हो जाएगा. एंड वी फॉलो इट बिकॉज द हैबिट, ह्यूमन टेंडेंसी दैट वी नीड एवरीथिंग वेरी इजीली. वी डोंट वांट टू वर्क हार्ड. बट जो मजा है मेहनत करके जो फल मिलने में, आपको एक मल्टीपल चॉइस क्वेश्चन आया, आपको नहीं पता है क्या आंसर है, इट हैपेंस ना इन एंट्रेंस एग्जाम ऑल्सो, इट हैपेंस। यू विल समटाइम्स कम अक्रॉस क्वेश्चन मेरा आंसर तो छोड़ा, मैं सवाल ही नहीं समझ में आया, देन व्हाट यू विल डू? नो नेगेटिव मार्किंग, फोर ऑप्शंस आर देयर, व्हाट यू विल डू? हाउ विल यू चूज? अक्कड़ बक्कड़ बम्बई को 80 90 पूरे, तो में लगा धागा, चोर निकल के भागा, जैसे आया लगा दिया। प्रैक्टिस भी ऐसे ही करेंगे हम लोग। एक रेमेडी दे दिया, मुझे नहीं समझ में आ रहा कौन सा सिविल है, मैं कौन सी टोटालिटी, कौन सा रूब्रिक, चलो यार सब दे रहे हैं, ये कंडीशन में ये मेडिसिन मैं भी देता हूँ, एंड देन यू आर वेटिंग एंड वॉचिंग कि मिलेगा नहीं मिलेगा रिजल्ट, क्या मजा है उसमें? रियल फन इज टू हंट फॉर द केस, टू हंट फॉर द minimum, wait, give it to the patient and wait for the result to come, wait for the expected result to come. That will gain confidence to you, that will give confidence to you. Unless the friends, you people, those who are beginners, they don't start following the right approach. होम्योपैथी का बेड़ा गर्क ही है, बड़ा गर्क करके रखा है, ये नैया तो पूरी डूब रही है। आप लोगों को आना होगा, सिस्टम के लिए छोड़िए, लीव अ साइड सिस्टम, बट एटलीस्ट फॉर योर ओन ग्रोथ you have to come forward and see, try both methods. What gives you more consistent results and what your brain says is more correct, stick with that, simple. So what I'm saying is that in social media platforms, people present cases with one or two symptoms and they say that, oh, ये symptom मिल गया, ये दे दो रेमेडी। Patient helpless है, pulsatile। अरे patient helpless है तो why only pulsatile? Open the repertory and see helplessness is covered by more than 250 remedies. Then why only pulsatile now? No idea, no answer। एक कीनोट मिल जाता है और इसके ऊपर रेमेडी दे दो, मतलब पूरा केस टेकिंग की जरूरत ही नहीं है, तो फिर ऑर्गेनल लिखने की जरूरत ही क्या थी? So there are people who come across like that. For them also it is given in the literature. It is a burning shame on homeopathic profession that so large a number of drugs exist in the homeopathic pharmacies, and these drugs are recommended for such and such diseases without any investigation as to their properties other than the fact that doctor and so, अरे मैंने दिया है, I have 30 years of experience and this remedy is best for this condition, and you adopt it. आपके पास उसका कोई बेस नहीं है, कोई प्रूफ नहीं है। हाँ उसने कहा है, चलो उनको भी किसी ने कहा ही होगा, तो उनको जो कहा है उन्होंने अपना लिया और आपको भी बांट रहे हैं, आप ले लिए उसको। Such a thing is positively condemned in each and every line of organon and by every doctrine. Got it, friend? Understood? बोरिंग लग रहा है? कितने लोगों को बोरिंग लग रहा है बताइए? Is it boring or interesting?
No, sir, not boring.
What about others?
No, sir, it's not
Yes, sir.
boring.
No, no boring, sir.
Are you understanding, friends? Are you getting a clarity that these things are what we do today under the name of modern homeopathy? These things are already condemned in the literature. So if these things are, see, if just imagine, friends, if these methodologies would have given 100% results, then would homeopathy have been facing critics and allegations today? No. We are facing the critics and allegations because we failed to give consistent results. 10 में से 3, 10 में से 2, ऐसे रिजल्ट से हमें कोई साइंस एक्सेप्ट नहीं करने वाला है। We have to learn to give it 80% results, and we have to also account for those 20% failure cases as well. Right. So let's move on. So is this also a wrong methodology? Wrong number है?
Yes, sir.
Those are not responding. Do you want to argue, friends? I'm open for it. Absolutely no problem. Anyone want to argue? If you are not arguing, you should accept it. Now you can say that I have not understood. That also will do. Yes. What do you think, friends? Is it a wrong number?
Yes, sir.
Yes, it's wrong.
Yes,
I,
sir,
I,
yes,
I
sir,
think बहुत
wrong
सारे
number.
लोगों के दिमाग में कुछ ना कुछ डाउट तो चल ही रहा है, पूछिए ना, कोई इश्यू नहीं है फ्रेंड, कंप्लीटली फ्री टू आस्क, कम ऑन, नो प्रॉब्लम, आप मार्क्स थोड़ी घटेंगे आपके।
नहीं नहीं सर।
if you are finding it hard to believe, dare to ask questions, no problem. Shall we proceed? 10 minutes more are there for
Yes,
us
sir.
today. Okay. Now, there are two books, friends, which you will find on the table of most of the practitioners. I'm not talking about King's Repertory. Apart from King's Repertory, there are two books which you will find on the table of most of the practitioners. Which are those two books?
दुबे
Boric.
Boric,
Boric material.
Boric की
Boric.
repertory mathematics और
दुबे
दूसरा
पाठक एंड दुबे
Helensky not. Helensky.
Helensky notes.
Alex notes.
These are the two books which you will find on the table of most of the doctors. Now, we all know how important and useful this Boric Mathematica is and repertory is. How many of you use it?
मेरे को तो सर बोरिक में और केंट में दोनों में बहुत
टेंट में और बोरिक में
दोनों कॉन्ट्राडिक्टरी लगता है, कभी कभी दोनों में कुछ मतलब सेम जैसा चीज मिलता ही नहीं है।
अच्छा, तो आप किसके साथ जाएंगे? तो दिक्कत हो जाएगी।
केंट के साथ।
टेंट के साथ जाएंगे, चलिए ठीक है। How many of you use this book actually, Boric? अच्छा, we'll discuss on this thing. Now, this Boric book is divided into two parts. First part is the Mathematica part and the second part is the repertory part, है ना? So let's discuss on the repertory part first. Mathematica का part हम लोग कल डिस्कस करेंगे क्योंकि आज का टाइम हो जाएगा। So when you look at the Boric repertory, classification of repertories is something that we read in third year, I believe. Third year or final year में तो पढ़ ही लेते हैं। So under the classification, in which classification this Boric repertory comes? क्लासिफिकेशन में कौन सी क्लासिफिकेशन के अंदर ये बोरिक रेपर्टरी आती है?
Clinical.
इट्स अ क्लिनिकल रेपर्टरी, करेक्ट? क्लिनिकल रेपर्टरी,
यस
a repertory which is based on clinical symptoms. We all know that. But how do we define a clinical symptom? What is a clinical symptom? Boric repertory is based on clinical symptoms. What is a clinical symptom? Since time is running out, I'll read from the book. Clinical symptoms are those symptoms which were never observed during proving. However, clinically, they were found to be useful in such and such cases. This is the definition of clinical symptoms. Correct? Now, we'll keep this aside. We'll come back to this. Now, just as we discussed the modus operandi a little while ago, we want our expected remedy to produce the symptoms that exist already in the patient. So, which means that we should know which remedy has the potential to produce what kind of symptoms. Where we will we get this information from? From where we will be getting this information that this remedy has the potential to produce this symptom? From where we will get that information? कहाँ से मिलेगा? कौन सी रेमेडी में कौन सा सिम्टम प्रोड्यूस करने की क्षमता है, ये कहाँ से मिलेगा हमें पढ़ने के लिए?
Materia medica drug proving.
Drug proving.
मेट्रेमेडिका एंड इन टर्न द मेट्रेमेडिका में जो चीजें दी हुई है इट हैज कम फ्रॉम ड्रग प्रूविंग. ठीक है? ड्रग प्रूविंग इज द बेस. नाउ so every symptom were not observed in every prover. Some symptoms were observed in majority of provers, which we have 3+ grade, 3 marks first grade. Some symptoms were produced in some provers here and there, 2 second grade. And Mathematica also have these clinical symptoms which were never observed during proving. So just think logically, friends. So if you want to cure a symptom in the patient, you expect that remedy to produce that symptom in the patient. So you will more depend on that drug which has been confirmed to produce that symptom during proving. तभी तो healthy sick person में भी produce करेगा ना. अगर प्रूविंग के दौरान अगर 100 केसेस में एक रेमेडी ने 100 इरेक्टेशन लाए हैं तो आपको 100 इरेक्टेशन ठीक करना है तो आप उसी में से एक रेमेडी चुनोगे क्योंकि वो प्रूविंग में ऑलरेडी आ चुका है. So those symptoms which were observed during proving are highly reliable. Do you agree with that?
यस सर
Yes, sir.
Yes,
And
sir.
what about those symptoms which were never observed during proving? Are they reliable? जब प्रूविंग
No,
में
sir.
हेल्दी पर्सन के ऊपर ही नहीं आए हैं कभी तो सिक पर्सन में कैसे आने की गारंटी आप ले सकते हो? Can clinical symptoms be reliable?
No, sir.
So can clinical repertory be reliable then?
No, sir.
How many of you have not thought about this from this angle? कितने लोगों ने बताइए इस एंगल से कभी सोचा ही नहीं?
Yes, sir. Never thought about this.
Never
I'll
thought,
show
sir.
I'll show you what is given in the book. The admission of clinical symptoms into our metromedica card must be done with greatest caution. बहुत ही सावधानी के साथ हमें clinical symptom को metromedica में ऐड करना चाहिए. They can be incorporated only after more searching inquiry. I am not reading it entirely because we don't have time. The session will end. But last sentence, if you read, the hasty and incorporate adoption of clinical symptom is certainly an evil, and if pursued to a great extent, will render metromedica unreliable. तो मेट्रीमेडिका को ही अनरिलायबल बना देगा अगर सारे के सारे क्लिनिकल सिम्टम्स हम जोड़ते गए हैं जाएंगे. क्लिनिकल सिम्टम्स कब इंपॉर्टेंस रखते हैं? क्लिनिकल सिम्टम्स आर इंपॉर्टेंट ओनली टू कंप्लीट द पिक्चर. आई गिव एन एग्जांपल टू अंडरस्टैंड दिस. इज एनीवन हु हैज द इंटरेस्ट इन ड्राइंग? जल्दी बताइएगा, 2 मिनट 3 मिनट रह गए हैं. इज देयर एनीवन हु हैज इंटरेस्ट इन ड्राइंग?
यस सर.
चलो ठीक है. व्हाट्स योर नेम था? व्हाट्स योर गुड नेम?
श्रीकांत गुप्ता.
गुप्ता जी, ठीक है. सर मान लीजिए गुप्ता जी को ड्राइंग में बहुत इंटरेस्ट है. तो इफ आई एम आस्किंग हिम टू ड्रॉ एन एलिफेंट, if he has interest in drawing, he will very well draw an elephant very easily. But by mistake, he forgot to draw the tail of that elephant. He has drawn beautiful trunk, legs, limbs, head, everything he has drawn. पूंछ रह गया, पूंछ भूल गया. Now, just because he has not drawn the tail of the elephant, is that image going to change or it is still going to remain elephant only?
वो
Still
तो हाथी
elephant.
रहेगा.
हाथी रहेगा ना. थोड़ी पूंछ, अगर पूंछ के बिना भी हम हाथी को पहचान सकते हैं आराम से. तो ये जो पूंछ का काम है तो इनकम्प्लीट द इमेज. नहीं है तो थोड़ा सा इमेज इनकम्प्लीट है लेकिन फिर भी हाथी ही है. तो ये जो पूंछ का रोल है, दैट इज द रोल ऑफ क्लिनिकल सिम्टम. वेरएज जो सर है, पैर है, ट्रंक है, दिस आर द टोटलिटी, एंड द टेल इज द क्लिनिकल सिम्टम. इट ओनली हैज अ कंफर्मेटरी प्लेस. पूंछ देख के आप किसी को पूंछ में दिखाऊंगा तो आप कह पाएंगे कौन सा जानवर है? बहुत मुश्किल है. बहुत सारे जानवर को पूंछ है. तो सिर्फ पूंछ के देख के गेस करना रेमेडी को, और या पूंछ देख के गेस करना कौन सा जानवर है, उतना ही डिफिकल्ट है सिर्फ एक सिम्टम देख के क्लिनिकल सिम्टम पे मेडिसिन प्रिस्क्राइब करना. How many are not convinced and how many are convinced?
Convinced, sir.
Sure. चलो
Yes,
last
sir.
1 minute please, 60 seconds.
sir.
Any doubt
Yes,
from your
sir.
end? Any feedback you want to give? Any suggestions you want to give? फीडबैक तो मैं आपको व्हाट्सएप में डालने के लिए बोलूंगा लेकिन कोई डालता नहीं है, वो बात अलग है. Are you enjoying this journey?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Hello, then we will tomorrow see the most important topic, how to study metromedica. Then we will go to the other methodologies because that is related to, आज का जो एग्जाम्पल दिया था इमेज के बारे में एलिफेंट वाला, उससे रिलेटेड है. Tomorrow please try to be online. We will do a very interesting activity to understand how to study metromedica for clinical purpose. ठीक है?
Okay, sir.
Okay,
चलो,
sir.
thank you friends, thank you for
Yes.
joining, and we'll meet up tomorrow. And please share your feedback in the
Thank you,
WhatsApp
sir.
group. I will open the WhatsApp group for all.